Thank you very much, Katy. My name is Aldrin. I am the New England Film Festival director. Besides that, I'm a filmmaker, I'm a writer, I'm a producer, I'm actor, and I'm a film director. That's mostly what I do, and I am a documentarist as well. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you so much. It's so nice to meet you. And thanks for having me on. My name is Katie Pustizzi, and I am a dance artist based in the greater Boston area. I've been dancing my whole life and now am a professor of dance at a variety of universities in the area. And I'm creating my own work under my company, which I founded 3 years ago, and direct, which is called Liquid Spine. And Liquid Spine is a global dance series that seeks to unearth the environmental needs or challenges or crisis related kind of narratives particular to water systems or aquatic environments. And we do this through site sensitive dance, through dance filmmaking, and with movement being the main medium, but film and technology and science enhancing all that we do.
Thank you. Katy, it's besides you use the dance as a expression and you mix it with many different I would say you use like films, poetry, different areas in the art. That's what you guys do.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that the driver for us is really the environmental issues that we want to make visible or we want to encourage communities to act upon. And we use movement as a language to share those stories or these challenges. And everything else enhances our ability to do that, like filmmaking, right? We can bring an actual site into people where the dancers are engaging in that natural environment where they're in the water, they're in the trees, they're dancing in the grassy areas. Or we do it through collaborations with scientists or through music. So all of these collaborations really elevate our work.
I we received a film called Liquid Spine Great March.
Yes.
We are going to take the opportunity and watch a little clip. So, Liquid Spine Great March. Why? What was the inspiration to do this particular piece?
Hmm. Well, I found this opportunity through Artists for the Great Marsh and the Manship Artist Residency, which are on the North Shore of Massachusetts. And they had a call for artists that were really interested in working in this particular landscape and ecosystem. And for us, like, it just seemed a perfect fit to have a water based ecosystem be at the heart of why artists might create work. So, as I dove in a little bit deeper into my own research and doing site visits on the Great Marsh, which is just so expansive, I started to see and notice how much bird activity was happening in this site. And upon further research, learned about the importance of the Great Marsh as a stopover for migratory birds. So when I was applying to this program and then eventually was so honored to be accepted, knew that we were going to pursue that narrative in this site, which is one that we hadn't pursued before, migration and birds. And then while we were creating this piece, we By we, I mean my creative team, including my amazing dancers and filmmaker and composer. We decided that we wanted to film it in all 4 seasons to showcase how the landscape changes and to showcase how the bird activity changes from season to season, with autumn and spring being more abundant, because that is when the birds are migrating, and the summer they're being a little bit different. Throughout the year of creating the film, we also found this parallel to immigration, to borders, to the movement of human bodies and the need for people to travel for many different reasons, but some including, violence or climate change, sea levels rising, economic disparities, what name it. And especially at this time in our world, we really wanted to highlight those parallels in the film, and feel very proud of what we did with it. We really love it.
Yeah, the film is yeah, the film it's very pretty. Remember when I talked to you earlier that it reminds me the Pina Bausch movement. That yeah,
It's such a compliment. I was stunned.
it, it is because it takes me to the place and the environment and even the movement and the dancing. The films, how it's connected to the nature, it takes you there, and it's like, I don't know, to me it's like a mantra or a song to invite you to connect to the nature. So that's what I like about, and that's what I compare it to Pina Bausch, because she has some type of things. And what kind of dance is this? This is how you call it? Experimental? No, how you call it? This kind of dance?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of label it as contemporary dance, but we at Liquid Spine, myself and the dancers in this piece, we also worked, in a very experimental way. So there was a lot of dance improvisation on site, where I'd either work with them in the studio ahead of time and give them some ideas, which we call like scoring, and then know that they can go and play with it on site. Or if we arrived to the site and the site was a little bit different than we had experienced it last season, I would encourage them to explore what the natural setting was giving us, which I think lent itself to that more like integration of dancers in the space, having it feel as harmonious as possible rather than like placing the dancers into nature. Um, yeah, but contemporary dance, improv, experimental dance, all of those are great labels for what we do.
All those are matched with the yeah, with the message and the movement, because they're very creative. And sometimes it's, you're talking about in the movie, you're talking about birds, right? It's and sometimes the movement remind me of birds as well. And so that's beautiful that it's a message to the migration of the birds during the whole year, I would say. And do you have to go to the same location every season?
Yes. Yeah, the trustees allowed us to film on a site right on the Great Marsh. And we started filming in the summer and went in every single season, including winter, which ended up just being really magical. It was very therapeutic, I think, to keep going back to this place from season to season for us. Only one dancer went in all 4 seasons, but I think all of them just found this deeper connection to the site and to the inevitability of change and, embracing change, and just being more immersed in nature and in all the seasons. It was really powerful.
Yeah, that was the word that I was looking for earlier. It's very, very therapeutic.
Hmm,
It's very it it's like following a bird.
I love
It's
that.
yeah, and okay, but it is a film, and doing a film, you have the good stuff and the difficult stuff. What was the biggest difficulties you found during the filming of this piece?
Mm. Oh, I mean, I have to say, I've created a lot of dance films, and this is one that had much less difficulties than any other project I've ever engaged in. So that there's that.
That's a good thing.
I think that the editing process is always difficult for me. I do the editing myself, and I really, I don't want to say I struggled, but I went through the iterative process so many times during editing of really trying to have this harmony from season to season while still incorporating the season before or the season after in a particular like chapter. So that felt like a challenge to me, but it wasn't one that was super heavy. It was exciting. Um, I also feel like a challenge for me was, or continues to be for me, is just to like find more opportunities to showcase the film and to connect with communities that might be on the Great Marsh or might be interested in this kind of environmental stewardship, to get them involved, to get them seeing the film as a place of spark or inspiration. So I think that that's just an ongoing challenge in all of my work is getting it out there so that it can do its job, right, of inspiring and activating communities.
Well, Kathy, that's an ongoing challenge for any filmmaker.
Yeah.
I think one of the difficulties besides creating the the piece, like you said, for you was editing, because in this case you edited only, or you also film it, or what was the crew? Uh, who was in the crew doing during the filming?
Great. So I had a videographer, Madison Plummer. She did a wonderful job. She came with us all 4 seasons. And I had 6 dancers that I worked with. Sorry, 7 dancers that I worked with. They were my former students from Dean College and worked with me throughout the course of the year. A composer, Robert J. Bradshaw, who is a Gloucester based artist who had actually already created this music while sitting along the Great Marsh and inspired by the Great Marsh, and gave us, permission to use it and to be invested in the project. And then myself, I directed, I choreographed in collaboration with the dancers. The dancers had a lot of input, which I love. And then, I edited the thing completely on my own.
They
um,
give you all the footage and you sit and start editing. Kathy, from
that's what
the
we have to do,
previous,
right? We have to take on so many roles in order to make these things possible, and it's
yeah,
hard,
that's what
but I'm
happened.
happy to do it.
That's what happened with the when you're independent and you have to do pretty much everything. And yeah, that's one of the things that I always want to speak about is how a independent filmmaker or artist, because we don't only do films. In your case, you do dancing, you choreograph, this and that, and now editing, direct. So it's we have to. take a lot of roles. Otherwise, nothing get done.
Absolutely.
So it's very, very important the work of the independent filmmaker, always pushing for the independent artist, because it's very, very hard and people doesn't realize how important is to to encourage that, because it's really, really hard. And when you see that you get something done in the beautiful way that your film is, very, 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 very important to get it out there. From the first draft to the film ending, how long it took you?
To edit it,
No, everything from the first idea. We have a year, no, because you guys went back to different
I
seasons.
know.
So everything after you film it, because I'm sure. Let's see, because movies are kind of funny. And when you film, let's say, what was the first season you filmed?
So we filmed in summer, but
Cinema.
but so I think that I started thinking about this in April of 2024.
Okay.
And then we started rehearsals throughout the summer. I'm going back. I did a month plus of site visits to the Marsh before even starting working with dancers. So I would go and find different sites on the Great Marsh that I had never been to. And I would sit and observe what was happening with the bird activity there. And I was also like trying to find which site would suit us best for our film. So after, like a month or two of that, then we start rehearsals. And then it's a year of, rehearsals. And I do also want to say that throughout the creation of the film, we also got to create a live work of the piece, which was performed on a stage. And we just performed in a gallery while the film was up on the wall, and the dancers were doing kind of like an excerpt of what we did for the film in more of like a live setting. So throughout the whole process, which I'm going to say was like 16 months to create, like a 6-minute film. um, we also had other opportunities, but everything just felt so worth it for us, because at Liquid Spine, we really, really care about the process. And the process for us was so joyful. And it never felt like a rush. We didn't want to rush to finish it. I think we're sad that we're done in a way, because we enjoyed it so much.
Okay, so like about 16 months.
Yeah.
So what? So I guess the most difficult part was the editing, right?
For me, I think it always is, just because it feels tedious to me. I'm a embodied mover, and to sit and do all of that creative work is just more challenging for me.
Yes, it takes it. Editing is it's very extremely tedious, because you have to repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat again and again and again. And I don't. I do editing. When I do my films, I don't. I can't because in my case, I I get like how to say burnt out, because
Yeah.
I'm involved in every single aspect. And when I finish it, okay, let me just give this to an editor, and of course it has a script and everything. And when come back to me, I will see if it is what I want.
Mm,
And there, when I have like let's say like a a project like a draft, I will fix that. But if
mm.
I have to go and watch 20 takes and select seconds again, I was, I think I would get crazy.
I
But
know. Yeah.
listening, I have to move away or I have to do something. But I mean, 6 minutes, okay. I do editing of up to I don't know, 25 minutes. It's something that I do. I edit it for other people. Like you give me your work, I will edit it because it's I wasn't completely there doing all this stuff. It changes, it varies to the people. In my case, I my own work I cannot do it
Mm.
because it's too much.
I feel that. I need to take some of that energy from you, I think. Um, I think it might be the perfectionist in me that like needs to continue to hold on to the project. But also there's an element of because when we film, we work very improvisationally. Like I've worked with other filmmakers and like the movement matching or the trajectory of the film can get confusing sometimes for them because it's not set choreography, and I really play improvisationally even so in the editing stage. So I think that that's why I feel the need to really like be there for that and hold on to it, if that makes sense.
It does, it does. It is like it no, I understand perfectly. It's like your own baby and you want to, you know, be involved completely in the whole process of creation, just to call it somehow.
Yeah.
But it is beautiful when in this case that you know were involved in a but I can tell it could be very difficult because you know what you just explained, you have to repeat so many times and repeat, and it's a short film, it's 6 minutes. Imagine to do that for 2 hours film.
No. Couldn't.
That's why films, that's what I was asking you how long it took you, because films could take forever.
Yeah.
I am doing my first feature film because
Mm,
I usually do short films. I think the longest that I've been doing, it's half an hour,
okay.
30 minutes myself, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I you know, it's extremely expensive, costly, blah, blah, blah. And I'm doing my first feature film and I cannot edit it. I was involved, I am involved completely. Of course, every movement that the editor does, it counts with me, but I'm not there putting it together because it's it's too much.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my good. And it's gonna take probably one more year. I've been doing this for 3 years already, and I haven't finished.
Yeah, I
Be-
was gonna say, I mean, just the editing process alone of a film of that duration, just it has to take over a year.
it does.
Yeah.
Usually it does. One more time. If it's something to like 5 minutes, it you know it's different because yeah. But something that is over half an hour, I and especially something that is in the difficulty of your film also is the because it's not a regular film where
Mhm.
people is talking and giving you information or a drama that create this situation. It's a piece that is environmental. It's like giving you therapeutic. That was the word that you used. I love it.
Yeah.
It's a very therapeutic film. It's like when you watch it, you want to connect people and you want them to when you finish the film, it gives you that impression of peace.
Mm.
Yeah, it's like a bird you just described. It's very beautiful, to say, and it's very and now that I'm talking to you, more engaged because I can see the passion that you put through it, and you can see that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That means so much. Like
you,
really, it's my
it
heart.
it is, and I'm telling you this because I wanted to continue to create, you know, more pieces like that. And that was my next question. You have, you working in something new?
Yeah. So, uh, actually, I Liquid Spine is working on our next film, but I am not a part of it. So this is my first kind of experience where I'm mentoring, young dance artists through this process, but I'm giving them creative freedom to create a work. Um, we are creating a film about the Hudson River in New York, and it will actually be filmed next month. The two directors are New York based movement artists, and they are particularly interested in creating a dance film about how different species of fish or aquatic animals have completely left the river because it is so polluted and it is not a safe environment for life to exist. So they're really going to be working with different natural imagery against industrial settings and conceptual work. And we have a really amazing, score that was created just for us that includes natural sounds and sounds of a city. So that's going to be fabulous. And then in addition, the project that I'm kind of holding the most right now is that Liquid Spine is just started to create a new piece for performance, for live performance, and it's called Bycatch, and it will investigate different fishing practices and how trawling or even just the the leftover like nets and ropes and ghost gear are really invading our oceans and are causing trauma to these ecosystems and to the marine animals. So we are going to be creating a full performance, a full evening length work about bycatch, and we'll be embodying stories of like whales that have been entangled and are going to be doing work on Cape Cod to uh, really investigate this topic and, hopefully create a film about it in the end.
Yeah, it sounds besides that it's very interesting and very necessary to inform people about all this that is happening. It's just terrible. See the dirty in the oceans.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
go, yeah, especially in the cities. It is awful, and yeah, the animals are suffering, and sometimes we eating these animals that they are also affected by all this pollution on the water. It's
Absolutely.
terrible. Yeah. So it's wow, very very interesting job again, and I'm sure it's gonna be absolutely beautiful
Thank you.
because, based on what you just said, it sounds like, and I love the ocean, the water, the way I can even picture the sounds of the sea and stuff. Yeah. The Kathy, do you have any in let's say, do you have, when you create these films, do you have a inspiration from someone, some other movies, some other films, how you, or it's all coming out of your heart?
Hmm. I mean, oh, I have so many inspirations. I think that they're unexpected. Um, First of all, just nature inspires me. I was inspired to create Liquid Spine because I feel the most calm and peaceful when I am like on a coral reef. I feel very comfortable in the water. I also move and teach through like the imagery of water. So um, that element of nature deeply inspiring to me, and I always feel the need to engage in reciprocity. So like creating this project and giving back to the natural environments that give so much to me is definitely an inspiration. And then I have to say, anybody that I work with is such a big inspiration to me. Like my dancers, I love them to pieces. Um, they give me so much creative energy and inspiration and ideas. They don't even know how much that they impact me. So they continue to be like this inspirational generation throughout the process. And I would say just this like coming from myself, um, I really feel like dance can and should be a vessel or a vehicle for social change or healing, catharsis. So I feel this very deep call and passion to push that work forward and to have it make an impact on others.
And I agree with you. I think that is extremely important. I think dancing is one of the things that everybody likes.
Mm.
Even if you don't know how to dance, just to move, it make you feel good.
Yep. Yep. We're all dancers.
We all dance somehow, so I think it should be a little bit more push into the education
Mm.
to, well, like art in general. I cannot stress telling people how important it's just to explore uh, painting, dancing, poetry, music. All those things give you a way of going inside you and discover things that you have, or you probably didn't know that you have them, and dancing is one of them. I love dancing. I don't dance professionally whatsoever. I have taken classes of flamingo dancing,
Amazing.
and very difficult.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Extremely difficult, because if you don't know how difficult it is until you get into and start learning. So
I
I
have
could
taken a few classes and I just have so much respect for the
I
form of
it is it is absolutely difficult. Even it was so difficult I couldn't continue because I couldn't make enough. I was feeling so embarrassed. I know I should not, because I am not following the steps.
Mm.
And I it's beautiful. I can do some stuff, and when it's so strong, and when you finish, it's like, wow. It's like
Mhm.
he is like, you took off a lot of stress. and
Yes.
and I can imagine when you do all those beautiful movements that in the film you can see, it's like connection with the nature. It's absolutely important. I'll say that's what I like a lot at your film, because it's like we we are losing the connection with the nature, and we have to get it back. We are That's what we are. We are nature. We supposed to be connected with
Yes.
birds, with animals, with plants. We should work all together, not destroy all that. I mean, it's like, what are we gonna get? One of these days this planet's gonna start crying, when it's crying already.
Mm.
but
Yeah,
but
I mean, I completely agree with you. One of the things that we talk a lot about is trying to re-envision our current relationship, our human, experience, relationship with nature, and like re introducing the fact that we are nature. So I love that you said that. And then one thing that I think has really stuck with me over the past couple of months is somebody said to me after they saw our film, this film just reminds me of the resiliency of nature and how, we're doing all of these things to that are really detrimental to our home, and therefore, because we're nature, are very bad for us. And they said, but no matter what we do, our earth will continue, we just won't. And that felt so heavy to me. um, and just another, I guess, source of inspiration, as things become a bit heavier and heavier and heavier. How do I approach these very, very scary topics through the lens of something that feels so cathartic? Dance. It's like the perfect blend to bring these things to light.
it is beautiful, and it is important for the students, and the new generation to understand how important is to you know admire a bird flying, a fish in the ocean. And it is, to me, I of course I love nature. I have dogs, I have cats, I have a huge, gigantic garden. My mom's full of flowers. The hummingbirds coming, and it's just beautiful. And the for you to be able to connect that through dancing, it's absolutely very well. And I cannot thank you so much for the work that you do, because it's very, very important.
Well,
Uh,
thank
as a filmmaker, I just capture the image. You guys do everything. You guys do the dancing and the connection of and the message. The message is very, very, very important. And I want you to ask you the last question, which is one of the main purpose of this festival is to work with students and connect them there in whatever it is. If it's through filmmaking, perfect. If it's through poetry, perfect. If it's through dancing, it's perfect. Theater, I explore everything. If frame in art.
you.
And I always wants to think someone that create a what message do you have for the student that wants to do something, but based on their difficulties they think that they cannot. In a case, it could be a film, it could be dancing. What message do you have for the student when they watch your film? How, like, do you think that they can do it, or how you inspire them so they can create their own stuff?
Sure. Oh, I I always say to students, first of all, to embrace your own path. Um, that everybody has a different trajectory to getting towards their goals. So that's one thing that I share. I'm a professor of dance, so I share that with all of my students, that you don't need to follow the path of the person next to you. You don't need to follow the path even of your mentors. You can learn from them, you can see what they have done, but everybody is going to have a distinct way of creating and achieving their goals. And that is the beauty of art, because we're all different and we really need to go on that individualized journey to create through the iterative process, through, quote unquote, failures, through challenges, to get to art that is really authentic to you. So I would encourage students to be unafraid to really articulate what their unique perspective is and to share it in a way that feels authentic to them, and to enjoy the process along the way. It's not just about the product. The process is where the magic happens, and where community is cultivated, and where your own sense of purpose and fulfillment and joy can come from.
Yeah, that's beautiful, and it's very true. It's the whole process. And when you get into the end, like, the relief of, this is what we did. But I'm sure when you watch a film, you remember all the all the process that you have to go through. And it's in your case, I mean, I don't know, in my case, when I watch my film, it happens the same thing, and it's stronger because, oh my god, I remember what happened that day. Take you to different emotions, and that's why you get so connected to it, because it take you to in that a specific moment, and it's probably 20 things happens that only you know.
Yeah. Yeah, but like, why would we do this work if it's just for the product? The process, that's why we do it. We
That's
don't just do it to have a finished film and to share it. It's because we want to connect with other people, and we want to be creative, and we want to bring out that sense of, transformation or catharsis, at least for me. And so to remind students to that the process, if it is as robust and as full, as it can possibly be, that, like, that's where the work is, and it will show up in the product, right? Your end piece will be better off.
Yeah, that's the artist inside, you know. We have to do it, and we have to during the process, that's what fill it up, and you get like charged just,
Mhm.
and you keep going and keep going and continue to do it. That's the artist inside, I guess. You enjoy everything, the moment. It's not only the end, it's
Yes.
the whole process, which is beautiful. And I'm sure in dancing is even more difficult because you have to practice and practice,
Mm.
and right. I can I to me, I respect very much dancers. It's very difficult job, and it's not for everybody. Like you said, you have to identify what are you good. Like I took that class, and I identify I can't do. I can
But you
dance a little
still love
bit.
it. But you still love it and
Oh,
appreciate
yes, and I of course, and I go and I have my movement,
it.
and
Mhm.
I do this and that thanks to the class. But dancing professional, no, I need to identify that what is my what am I good at, or what do I enjoy more.
Absolutely.
And when you identify that, is when you find your path,
Purpose. Yeah.
purpose in life. It's amazing. Kathy, I have a great conversation with you. It was amazing, and it was a pleasure to have you. And we will talk more in the future.
Love that. Thank you so much. This was really a joyful conversation, and I want to thank you for like really seeing our work, not just at surface level, and understanding the different themes and how dance can be so important and healing. That's rare in our world. So thanks for really, really seeing and hearing us.
Thank you. New England Film Festival.